what if we take the aggro out of mono white aggro? Ajani's Pridemate is a staple in the meta right now, and I want to play that every single turn of the game. How we're going to do that is using Fogbank to slow down the game, give us an eternity of blocks, so that we can use Smile at Death to get an eternity of Ajani's Pridemates up. That's the game plan. We'll see how it goes. And hopefully it goes better than the last game I played where I drew 8 lands in a row. That was pretty cool. That's pretty fun. So our first game of the day against Sebola Gale. I can't speak words, and this is exactly what I want to see. We've got Pridemate opening hand, Smile at Death opening hand. Pass the turn and see how we do. We've got a little bit of blue because I think that blue creatures, specifically Exclusion Mage, that can bounce our opponent's creatures, will prove very useful in the Eternity matchup. Now I could say this is a mill deck. Can't be blocked. Okay. Well, now we're gonna have to deal with Shoreline Looter now because we can't block that. Thankfully though, they're only 1 damage. Unfortunately though, they are going to give our opponent so much value over time. Get a Sanctifier, let's gain some life, grow the Pridemate, and attack on in. Unless our opponent has some kind of bounce. Fair enough. So is that just creature? Yep, just creature. My whole plan, now that we have 5 lands, is to play Smile at Death turn 5 every game. Because that is the sort of seal the deal type play. Although this isn't the opponent to play this deck into. We very much want to be able to block our opponent's creatures, and they're just dodging like no one's business. However, we've assembled our players. We've got our growth creature. We've got our bounce creature. We've got a little bit of misplaying with not putting the Sanctifier down first. But yeah, when you pull the time scale out to eternity, it doesn't really matter. Oh, perfect. This is exactly what we want to see. Opponent has no idea that they just threw away a creature for nothing. Because, check this out. Check this out. Planes, Smiles at Death, and if we have 1 creature in graveyard, go. Homunculus Horde. Ooh. Now that's a creature I'd like to have in this deck. They decide not to block, which is alright. If they attack on in, we can just sacrifice our Felidar Cub, get it back. Yeah. Ooh. Okay. I said the words I said. I goofed. Sacrifice by blocking. Alright. Make some berries. Starting to look a little bit hairy over here. But we get our folks back. We gain some life. And let's see what we can grab with Tale of Tamiyo. Maybe we can get some more creatures in the graveyard. Cool. We throw a Mischievous Mystic into the graveyard, so now we're gonna have that forever. And they'll have 1 more turn until it's essentially game over for them. Because now I can attack in with my massive Pridemates. and I don't know how they defend against that. They get 6 damage in the air. Fair enough. Well, 7 because unblockable. We're going to be able to throw down our fog bank. And that's a lot of creatures. I gotta admit, that's a lot of creatures. However, Mystic, yo. Let's lock down the air. Mill some more. What is with all these lands? We might as well call this deck the Waterlogged Pridemate. Alright, opponent. Are you ready? Are you ready for this? One more up, see if we can draw. Honestly, I don't need 2 Smile Set decks. And all attack. Actually, we're gonna hold back the Exclusion Mage. All attack. Now, how much damage do they have in the air? We'll have 6, 7, 8, 9. Only like, hold on a second. Hold on. If I do basic math, okay? Which I won't. I promise I won't. So I didn't. It was at this point I realized our opponent can probably do math better than me. Oh shit. Well, you can see how the deck works, right? If our opponent didn't have value generation, as all opponents should have, that's a bad sentence to say. That is not the thing you want to say at all. Man, Homunculus Horde is crazy. It's like Scute Swarm, but with drawing. They're such cute little guys. I gotta get that. I gotta check to see if I have that. This is probably a good game for us. Nevertheless, we will block. Because it ain't over till it's over. Block, 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 block. Math is for blockers, and I guess that's for me right now. Oh, we survive one more turn. Oh, this is perfect. I say that as if I have a backup plan. I don't. I don't. However, what I do have is limitless. Oh shit. Go to this. Limitless obliviousness. We've also got Leader's Talent for fun. Let's see. What can we do? They've got blockers. They've got more attackers than I have blockers. Yep. That's good game, opponent. I don't think that's gonna save us. Because they've got way too much stuff. We throw him back down, we'll be at 7 life. They've got 4 unblockable, basically. And yeah. Yeah, they full send. I get to block. Actually, you know what? Block there, eat you up, eat you up, eat you up. And the damage says I should have a life linker. Should absolutely have life linkers in this deck. Alright, resolve all of those. You can make as many tokens. Yeah. Homunculus Horde? That's nasty, dude. God, they just don't go away. Exacxies. Good game, opponent. Let's just take a quick look at my cards to see if I have Homunculus Horde, because that was a phenomenal showing. And since it's a 2/2, it fits perfectly in our deck. So if we open up decks, we go to Laughs in Blue. Horde. I may not have it, not collected. I don't have it. However, I do have terrible self-control. So we're going to throw away one Pawn Prophet, make one Homunculus Horde, and not see it for the rest of this time. Because if there's anything that I've learned about having one-ofs in my time playing, you don't see them. Actually, that reminds me. Back in high school, back when cards were expensive, or like having like a $5 card was beyond reason, there was this one classmate who spent like $10 on a card, and at that point it's like, what are you doing? It was like some like 5 or more mana black creature that if you played him, you pretty much won the game. But like, we played so many games together and he never saw it. He's played that deck so many more times. He said, you know, I've never even played this card. And that might just happen with our Homunculus Horde. However, hopefully, 2 things are true. 1, I've got card advantage with Tale of Tamiyo. So hopefully I'll see it. Hopefully I'll dig through my deck. And 2, he might have just not had any like card advantage or been good at making decks. Who's to say? It was years ago, and I hope he's doing well. We're up against a black-red. Now, if they have single target removal, we're kind of golden, because that is exactly what I want to be fighting into. Being able to revive endlessly against single target removal is just mwah. I would love to have Unstoppable Slasher in this deck. However, that's a black card, and I don't know about splashing in black. I mean, it's just one little splashing. Could be possible, but I wanted to go with just 2 colors just to see how we roll. Slumbering Cerberus. Alright, it doesn't untap during your untap step. And beginning of each end step, if a creature died, untap it. Alright. Let's get things rolling with the Tale of Tamiyo. Maybe we'll draw an extra card. Yes, we will. Make ourselves a fairy. And Lion in for 2. Alright. double Slumbering Cerberus. Just can't block. We made that creature for free. And now they can't. Oh. I forgot that that's how that card. I literally just read that card. I told you all what it did. And it just flew through my mind. Let's grow our Pridemate. Big enough to kill that. Well, actually, it already is big enough to kill the Cerberus. Y'all, words are hard. Words are hard, thinking is hard, looking at the board is hard. We'll just... They're probably feeling amazing trading for a Pridemate. And to be honest, I don't have Smile of Death yet, so we need to grab that. Then maybe we... No? So we ditch one into the graveyard. We have, I think, 3 or 4. I think... No. I think it's 4. And... let's build up our wall. Kick her and consult the star charts next turn. And just sit back and relax. How are they going to fight into a fog bank unless they have removal spells? Which, in that case, love. Now, here's something that I wish I had known last turn. Tale of Tamiyo. It's going to pop off next turn. Do I have any instants and sorcerers in the graveyard? No, I do not. Could I have had consult the star charts in the graveyard? Absolutely. Why did I do that? Well, you see, dear listener, dear viewer, dear fellow magic enjoyer, this is what you would call a classic goof. Ta-da! Alright. Oh. Island. Pick this bad boy. Find ourselves a Smile at Death. Awesome. And now that we have 30 life, they can attack in with everything, and I don't really care. Because we're going to be reviving Pridemates forever now. You know what? Block there. Perfect. Wonderful. Smile at Death. Pass the turn. And let's see. 2 Pridemates? Don't mind if I do. Now, there is one downside to Smile at Death. Is that it takes a few turns, like it doesn't do anything the turn it comes down, so our opponent has 1 free turn of building up their masses, but I think we've more than made up for it now that we have 30 life again and 2 7/7s from nothing. We'll be able to attack in it with those in just a hot second. Well, actually, we've got bigger creatures because... Mwah. Opponent gives us the Pathetic. Have you considered you don't get creatures anymore? Now, something that would be nice is if we could ensure that our Exclusion Mages would be killed. And if we had a sacrifice outlet, that would definitely be how to do that. Unfortunately, being blue-white and having no black, I don't think there's any creature sacrifice. Which is unfortunate, but you know, having a 3/3 that can just become a blocker, either trade or save me damage, then bounce next turn. I think that's a fair trade-off. I think I'm cool with that. And now it's just the chill grindiness. Ah, Massacre Worm. Interesting. Well, that puts us back a little bit. How much damage is that? 10? A little rough. We can take this 3. Pass. What is it? 4? And not too much of a worry. Let's grab a Sanctifier, and let's also grab a Fog Bank to block some things. All right. Opt. What else could be? Now it's smiling at death. Don't mind if I do. But I think we're pretty good to just attack on in. Now the real name of the game here is seeing when our opponent concedes. Because at this point, I can't imagine how we lose. I know I've said that many times before in many other videos. But this time I'm really feeling it. This time I feel like we've really locked our opponent out of doing anything. Because we've got a forever blocker to lock down their big bad creatures. Hey. Well, that's how they can actually kill us. And just have us lose creatures and then die with them. And now our Exclusion Mage. Okay, well, shit. There we go. Okay, cool. Good game, opponent. Good game. See, that's how it's supposed to work. And you might say it's slow. It's not how a good deck works. You might say it's kind of annoying for everyone. However, have you considered click, click, click? Click, 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 click? I have, and that's why I'm playing it, because I like clicking things. Y'all, what are we doing here? And goddamn magic, and that's what. For our opponent's Orzhov. We got our Pridemate out. We got our Smiling at Death. They got some cabbage. Ah. See if we can draw one more land. A bit random. Yeah, no, not like that. Let's pretend that we have pressure. Let's pretend that we're a pressure deck, and they've got to be worried and actually aggro back at us. Little do they know. They don't gotta worry. Yo! Samesies. Actually, honestly, good thing we ditched that Smile at Death, because having 3 of them is a terrible, terrible hand. Ooh. Wait, Sheltered by Ghosts can hit not more than just creatures? Oh, shit. That's news to me. I guess good thing we have 2 then. They've already eaten through 1 of theirs, and I'll leave my Pridemate back just to block and force our opponent to not want to trade. They could play down 2 creatures, gain 2 life, and outscale our Pridemate, which would be sad, but we also have Sanctifiers to block with, which our opponent, why would I do that? Why would I do that? No, they just play 1 creature. They probably won't attack right here. because it would be silly. But they're considering it. Alright. The noose is tightening. But we've done two really important things right there. We filled our graveyard with creatures. Got a fog bank and some Exclusion Mage. That'll be perfect. We got 5 lands. We can play down Smile at Death next turn. All we have to do is just survive for a hot second. There's no way our opponent can deal 19 damage to us right now, so we'll survive, be able to untap with Smile at Death. And Essence Channeler. Thankfully, this pops trigger or passes its counters when it dies, and an Exclusionary Mage doesn't kill. So that's... we're gonna sacrifice one of our Sanctifier. So we can't take 8 damage. Okay. No attacks. Pass turn. You have 2 blockers. We can now forever bounce our opponent's big things. What does this do? Whenever another creature you control with power tool less enters, drain for 1. So block. And can we bounce back from this? I know it looks pretty rough. I know it looks exceedingly impossible. But it doesn't matter, because as long as we're fighting to infinity, we're doing pretty good. And now we've got 2 fog banks. That nullifies these 2 creatures. I doubt they have more removal. Why would they have removal? English Panda? Do not care. If they attack and I can just block with the Exclusionary Mage. Exclusion Mage. Cool. Perfect. Right into my trap. Now let's see. I want that again, and 1 more fog bank. Let's bounce the Essence Channeler. Nothing like a laid back mill deck. I don't think we're going to play any more Tamiyos, Tale of Tamiyos, because we need to not mill ourselves. We need to like actually start attacking our opponent now. And we will be able to do that. We'll grab ourselves some rabbits back from the graveyard, play down our Pridemates. Although this Wisp Drinker Vampire might be our bane. So let's get rid of our mage. Grab him back, grab a Sanctifier. Grab a Pridemate and actually a Mystic. Bounce the Wisp Drinker back. Start growing the Pridemate. I guess we'll opt for fun. Alright. Pond Prophet? No. Perfect. Ah! What is it? Turn 20? Now it's finally time to start bouncing back. Oh, this deck is so slow, but hey, Our opponent's invested now. Now they want to. They feel like they've got this in the bag, and that just lets me click even more times. So we're all having fun here, probably. God damn it, y'all. Okay. Well, that really yucked my yum. Actually, yeah, whatever. Now every creature triggers 3 times, grows our Pridemates by 3. Perfect, perfect. What do we want? We want another island? No. Let's find out. Get lost. That's pretty neat. I guess we'll just grab that. And we'll hold on to it for whenever I want to use it. We can fairly easily just start throwing the Pridemates at them. Sure, they can eat one of them with their panda, but the other 2 are too big for anything else to do. Oh. Opponent, are you sure you don't want to kill my biggest Pridemate? You know what? Do I get lost the panda or the Wisp Drinker Vampire? I think we stick to the plan. Trade. And now we'll get lost the Essence Channelers. There we go. Cool. Life is good. Life is good. 21 cards, they're at 43 cards. Bruh. Now, we have 2 win conditions. 1, our opponent concedes. 2, our opponent times out. Either is acceptable. That's fine. That's good. We have 3 fog banks. We're not going to be able to get through all of them. And now our opponent's on the same clock as us. So let's just fog bank. They don't gain any life. Grab our boys back. Throw them up. And will our opponent concede now? Thanks. This is exactly what I've been wanting to do this entire time. Grow them real big. I'm gonna hold on to this cub so that I can get triggers next turn. Attack on in. If they block my Sanctifiers, let's just revive them again. Oh, they take it. End turn. Now I could snatch their Phyrexian Arena with my cub. But not yet. We're holding out for this hero. Getting after upkeep, you lose 1 life. and make a fairy. Now that's what we want to get rid of. Will they even attack? I find a Leonin Vanguard with their map. Yeah, they ditched that. We'll be able to attack on in pretty seamlessly next turn. We got 3 blockers for their 2 biggest creatures. And that was a little rough. Good game. I think they're giving us a good game to attack on in, so let's do so. Let's see if they block. And that's why I like Smile at Death. Is it a worse virtue of persistence? Kind of. Do I like it? Absolutely. Should I play both of those cards in the same deck? Probably not. They would step on each other's toes and take up slots. However, Virtue of Persistence is also a kill spell, which Smile at Death is not. So I don't know. I just like the card. It's got Alicia on it. She's awesome. She attacks on in. You revive things, and a good game opponent. Well, thank you so much for watching. This may have been excruciating for our opponent, so I hope it wasn't excruciating for you. If you've made it this far, why don't you give us a like, comment, and subscribe? Possibly join us in another video, and I'll see you next time. Bye.